I'm on my lunch break at work right now, and I'm going to a quieter place because I have an idea in my mind. I have a video that I want to record, and so on my way there, what I want to share with you actually is I'm about to record that video that I have in mind, and it's a collaborative video that you're gonna see posted already with Angela about the long game that we're playing. And I wanted to share just a behind the scene of how I go about recording those videos. There's not just one way to do it, but I know some people were just realizing that there's a different way of recording those YouTube videos, which is not only sit down in a beautiful space with a beautiful background at home and then craft a script, read the script, and that is the YouTube video. That is the strategy. There is a different way, and for me, I found that the best way is to go out there, and at the worst being in my car, but being outside, and then talk to the camera about my insights, my lessons, without having a script. I'm not saying having a script is bad or anything like that. I'm just saying that this is not the main way that feels good to me and that I like doing. So I just love to press record and do it. But for those of you who are not used to do that, I want to comfort you if I can. Let me just cross the street. Some people don't stop. Some people don't stop. I want to comfort you because you might see me doing it right now, and I've had some comments ever since I started doing that at the beginning of October, and people are saying how it feels like I'm a natural born storyteller, and I do it so effortlessly. And it's not always like, it doesn't feel always like that. Sometimes it is, but there's some resistance sometimes. But if we compare ourselves and all that, people are gonna see like, oh, I'm not as good as him. But I want to comfort you because all of that is a process, right? And so I was not born like that. I think we all born communicators and storytellers. Look at kids. Like, you don't even have to teach them how to tell stories. They could say one sentence and it's a whole story, and it makes you blush. It makes you react. It makes you feel. It makes you feel something. So I think we are all born storytellers, but that's innate ability and skill was taken away from us, and now we're just hyper conscious of the words we're using. So for me, I know that back when I was in high school, when I was younger, I felt like, first of all, I had no stories worth sharing, and second, I felt like my voice didn't matter. I had a hard time just being heard and being seen in my groups of friends. It's not like I didn't have friends. I had a circle, but I was the quiet one, the quiet observer, standing on the sideline and just observing, just being there, observing my friends do the talking, the entertaining, and the jokes and all that, right? And for me, it was not quite like the person who I was. So I forged myself into an identity until I said, I need to change something. And I did it so, like, I think it was more unconscious. I didn't clearly say like I need to change something. I felt like that, and I started writing a lot, so I express what I couldn't express out there, I expressed it on paper a lot. So I had notebooks of rhymes. I was doing spoken words and hip hop, so I was expressing myself a lot. And so I developed my ability to express myself and my vision and my thoughts and my insights and all that, right? And all of that was a process of years and years of doing that. And eventually I broke my resistance or my anxiety of, going on stage. And not my anxiety, like the anxiety or fear that I felt of presenting in front of people and going on stage. And so when I was doing hip hop, I started doing shows where there was hundreds of people, and I was on stage with my group, and I felt a burst of confidence just by performing what I've written to the people, right? Even if sometime I messed up with the lyrics and all that, I caught up, but that really helped me. And about the process of coming up with those videos so freely and flowing like that so freely. Uh, I remember when I was doing hip hop in high school, I remember hearing about Jay-Z. He was not writing his lyrics down. He was just going in the booth, going in the studio and recording his lyrics. Everything was written in his mind. And I know he's not the only one. There's many artists that do like that. And so for me, um, I started on paper, and then I was also in the middle of learning English as well, right? So I was a little bit limited in everything that I could express. But more and more, I got used to it, and I did it. And as I was taking my walks on my way to school, on my way to work, I I came up with rhymes in my mind, in my head, and I didn't have anything to note on. I didn't have a cell phone. I didn't have any paper or anything. So as I was walking to the destination, I had to remember those lyrics. And then whenever I could, I would jot it down on paper. But I developed the ability to write in my mind, right? And so the I'm sharing that with you right now because that is the process. Like, I'm about to record a video right now, that, like, a collaborative video that I'm doing with Angela, and I let the idea simmer for a couple of days, and I got, like, right now it's like I almost got a script in my mind. I know how I'm gonna start it. I know what I'm gonna say, and it's gonna flow the way it flows. I don't have the exact sentences or anything like that, but I have a structure in my mind as a result of developing that ability over time, right? So this is one of the ways that I do it. And the other way is just right now, I just press record, and on my way to a quieter place, I was saying, like, hey, wouldn't it be nice to just share them how I go about the process of recording my stories, my insights, and my lessons on camera. And my two ways to do it, my two main ways to do it, which is the video that I'm gonna record, which has been, simmering in my mind, and I got some of the words and some of the ideas are crafted already in my mind. And the other way, which is just press record and share, which is just what I did with this video right now. I said, wouldn't it be nice to record a video about my process? And now I didn't think about how, like, the outline or anything about how this video that you're watching right now, how it was gonna be like. But I'm just free flowing, like I was freestyling in the studio right now. So this is an ability that a lot of people will not feel comfortable in for a while. But if you develop that ability bit by bit. If you take the like if you make it a habit to do it, it's gonna feel better and better and better as time go, as you putting the reps, right? And so I want to encourage you to add that as a challenge for you. You might feel a bit of resistance, you might feel a lot of resistance at first, but I do think that it's worth to develop that ability, because it's also going to help you in all your communication. Whenever you have to share your ideas live, not necessarily just in front of the camera, but in a circle of friends, with business partners, and on presentation, when you have to Q&A on podcasts, any like any settings that you have human interactions and conversations, it's going to be so useful, because all of a sudden it's going to be easier for you to come up with those insights live on spot. I'm telling you, like right now, if you are doing a presentation on Zoom right now and you invite me on your presentation, which it could be like it could be a workshop or anything like that, I am going to be one of the person that, if you need someone to break the ice regarding the engagement of the people around, I'm gonna bring the engagement. I'm gonna be the one that answers like some of the question that sometimes it's just like silence. Like you ask the people and there's no engagement and there's silence. If I'm in the room, I'm gonna break the ice, and I'm gonna come up with an insight that's gonna inspire your people. And you can ask about what I'm saying right now. You can ask about like about that in my circle of friends, in the circles that I've been around for the last 3 years, in the coaching programs and all that. They know, and that's why I've been invited to join their offers for free, their workshops, their weekly meetings, because they know that I bring a lot of value and insights that wake people up and that inspire people, right? But this is an ability that I developed. So if you do that as well, I'm telling you, you are going to improve and enrich the quality of your interactions and your conversations. And it's gonna be beautiful. So this is my process of doing it. This is my two main process of recording those videos. And I would love if you share in a comment any insight, any inspiration, any idea that came up with that you came up with as a result of watching this video. Are you and tell us, are you going to take the challenge of of developing the habit of showing up live, developing your ideas in your mind without scripting on paper or on the screen? Share with us. And make sure you go watch that video with Angela about the long game. It's an amazing video. Peace, my people.